Yeah. All right, Dylan, thanks so much. We're joined now by two of the stars of the new movie Dunkirk, both making their big screen debuts.
That's right. Harry Styles and Fionn Whitehead play British soldiers who band together in a desperate attempt to make their way home. We're going to talk to both of them in a moment. But first, the story of Dunkirk and how acclaimed director Christopher Nolan turned a real-life miracle into a suspenseful thriller.
Dunkirk is a town on the coast of France where in 1940 the entire British and French army essentially wound up trapped, 400,000 men on one beach, the enemy closing in on all sides.
You can practically see it from here. What? Home.
The fact that this story doesn't end in either surrender or annihilation is one of the reasons that I think it's one of the greatest stories in human history.
For the visionary director behind Inception and the Dark Knight trilogy, Dunkirk marks Christopher Nolan's first film depicting real-life events.
I came out of that with an interest in trying to convey the immediacy of that experience, a telling of the story where you would actually put people on that boat, or put them in the cockpit of a plane, or put them on that beach with the soldiers. What would it really feel like to be there?
To achieve his vision, Nolan put together an ensemble of acting veterans and newcomers, including Fionn Whitehead starring in the lead role of Tommy.
As soon as you see Fionn on screen, you want him to get out of this, you want him to survive, and you're very involved in his journey.
What's wrong with your friend?
And a name you may recognize for his music rather than his acting, Harry Styles.
What I was looking for in the character of Alex, and I hadn't been able to find despite looking at thousands of young men, I saw in Harry right away. It's very truthful and it's very real, and for me those are the highest compliments you can pay an actor.
And Nolan promises Dunkirk will be a film you can't look away from.
Don't take your eyes off the screen. I really want people to come out a little bit exhausted, a little bit challenged, having really had a white knuckle ride.
We can never surrender. We can never surrender.
That sets the table nicely. Harry Styles and Fionn Whitehead, good morning to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
This is the big screen debut for both of you. I mean, was that intimidating? Were there a lot of nerves when you stepped onto that set? Christopher Nolan, a big budget movie like this?
I had a lot of nerves, yeah. I think it's kind of only natural, really, isn't it, with a director like Christopher Nolan and, you know, a story like Dunkirk that you want to treat with such subtlety.
Would you guys acknowledge, were you like, oh, well, this is kind of scary, or was it like, we try to play it cool, we're good?
I think everyone kind of got there, and the focus was everyone wanted to tell the story because it's such an incredible story, and yeah, it was kind of like the one focus, really.
Well, what's interesting about telling the story is there's not a lot of dialogue. There aren't backstories, so we are basically looking at both your faces a lot, looking for emotion. So was Christopher Nolan, when he was directing, was he saying, look, do it like this, feel like that, or did he give you room to do your thing?
It gives you quite a lot of free rein, I think.
Does he?
I think he's quite respectful that people are there for a reason. He is kind of surrounded by a lot of the best crew, actors, and in general people at what they do. So I think he's quite respectful that he's put you there for a reason.
Well, he obviously saw something in both of you quite special, and for anyone who's thinking, oh, maybe it was Harry Styles because Harry's famous and he's a box office draw. You didn't happen. It didn't happen, right?
That's a bit mean. I love
Throw me under the bus
No,
like that.
I'm saying let's make it clear. You went through a really tough audition process, and this director was very picky, said you earned your place there.
Thanks.
And that's got to feel good.
Yeah, I think everyone, you know, I feel incredibly lucky to have been a part of such an amazing story, and the cast is, you know, people that I'm such a massive fan of, and I'm a massive fan of Chris's, and I think, you know, what you were saying earlier with, it's quite a lean script, there's not a ton of dialogue, and you don't have these big backstories with the characters, and I think simply you don't really need it. I think the fact that they're quite blank, you know, as an audience member, you're watching it kind of projecting your own fear onto them. So as you're watching it, you're just seeing these people as yourself, because you don't.
I think he used the perfect amount of dialogue, to be honest. I think that the amount of dialogue he used was definitely calculated on his part, because in a time like that, in the situation these young guys were in, you wouldn't be stopping for a monologue every kind of, 5 seconds.
Harry, you're so comfortable, obviously, on stage, singing and doing all that stuff. Did you ever have a moment where you said during this setting, am I good enough for this? Like, there are a lot of, incredible actors.
It's another logo, really.
It's taking a beating.
Did you? But you know, like a regular person.
Of course. I'm such a massive fan of so many people working on this film, and
Finn's enjoying this. Just so you know, look at that smile.
Of course he is. It was amazing being on set. I think it was. You know, it was so overwhelming to be on a set of this scale and this. I don't know. It was amazing to be kind of going through it, really, and I think everyone should watch it several times.
Well, by the way, it's rated PG, so there really is an opportunity for younger people to see it. You don't actually see, you feel the violence and you see things, but there's not the gratuitousness.
Yeah, I think it's more about the emotional side of you know, war, and it's the story doesn't need, you know, gore and blood and stuff like that, so it doesn't have it. It's very intense, and I think people who watch it, you never feel like you're watching a screen. You kind of feel like you're surrounded by the thing.
A few of us have described it, a few of the actors have described it in different interviews. It's much more of an experience than it is sort of something you zone out to in the cinema.
You experience it, and you guys really experienced. This was shot on the beach at Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't a day at the beach in terms of the conditions. It's cold, it's windy, so when you guys look miserable, you kind of are miserable.
Yeah, I think when Emma asked Chris to make a movie on the beach, this isn't quite what you had in mind. She was like, this isn't what I had in mind. But yeah, I mean, it was so special for us to be able to make this film, obviously on the beach. We all kind of were very aware of the history that we were standing on, and it just made it, you know, very, very special for us, I think.
Last night at the premiere, there were tons of girls who came out that you don't usually see at a war movie screaming for you guys, and I'm sure
it's an epic suspense thriller.
Yeah, okay, exactly.
You're right. Well, you guys, good luck.
You did. Yeah, Harry's like, check and check. You got the bug now?
I'm done.
Yeah, no, wait, whoa. You want to act again?
I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was a good experience.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks for having us.
I like this interview where you think
of the summer.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Everybody works, right? Finn Whitehead, nice to meet you too. Thank you so much. And the movie Dunkirk, the feel-good movie of the summer. You heard it here. It opens in theaters and IMAX Friday.